What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Today we have a video that's super important. A lot of people skip this step when trying to get clothing manufactured, and then we're mad at the manufacturers for getting things wrong when it really starts with this step right here. It starts with your tech pack. So today I'm going to show you how I do my tech pack. A lot of people do this differently. There are different ways that you can do it. The most important thing in a tech pack is to make sure that you have as many details as possible, include all the important information so that your manufacturer can refer back to this when they're making your sample or even your bulk. So I'm going to show you two different tech packs today. I'm going to show you a really detailed one, and then I'm going to show you one that's not as many details. And I'm going to tell you why this one isn't as many details. But I'm gonna pop to the little screen and pop the first one up on the big screen for you. First, we're gonna start with this jersey, okay? So this jersey, I've never done a jersey. I don't know what measurements I need. So I didn't include many measurements, and I did that on purpose just because I didn't really know what measurements I needed. I just trusted my manufacturer to get that right for me, which I trust them. They've done plenty of jerseys before, so I trust them to get that right. Let's go over the basics for this tech pack first. So this part of the tech pack is the main stage on every page of the tech pack. First, let me tell you what I use to create my tech packs. I use Procreate and I use Adobe Illustrator. Procreate is where I create like the mock-ups, some graphics I'll get from Procreate. I mainly use Adobe Illustrator though. It's just easier for me. It's what I've been using the longest. There's no set way of what you should use. You can only use Procreate. You can only use Adobe Illustrator. You can only use Photoshop. Use what is easiest for you. You can even use Canva if that's easy for you. What's most important is that you have it set up in a nice way where it's easy to understand, and that you include all the information that you need to include. So at the top of all of my pages, I have my design details. I have what fabric I want to use. I have the sizing of the fabric. And usually I want to put GSM. I want to put 300, 500, 200 GSM. That's what I usually put. But like I said, for this jersey, I just didn't know exactly what I wanted. So I didn't want to put 300 GSM for a jersey. And that might be lightweight on a jersey side. So I just left it as heavyweight, so that my manufacturer knows I want this to be heavy. Then I also put just what it is right here at the top. Now, I should have included details about this label. I didn't include details about this label, and that was on accident. I should have made sure that I circled it and put woven label and put the sizing for that woven label, but I didn't. I also didn't put sizing for these two graphics, any of these graphics actually. I didn't put sizing. The only reason I didn't put sizing is because I didn't know. I didn't know how the jersey was really sized, what would be the best size for that garment. I was really putting this in the hands of my manufacturer, and they did good. They did great. We're gonna get these samples in really soon, and I'll do a video so you guys can see what the samples look like. But you would usually want to include that information, include the sizing, what type of print this is, all of that. You want to include all of that. So let's go on to the next page. So that's the front of the jersey, and then I went to the back. I usually like to do, it depends on how intricate the item is, how many pages it's going to be. This was super simple, so I just did front and back. This right here, the only details I put here is how I wanted the rhinestones arranged, and then what colors I wanted the rhinestones to be, and where exactly I wanted them to be. I blew up to 90 just so they could see it better. Here I could have added detail. I could have added detail. I could have added detail about the sizing, but once again, I literally didn't know, and I just talked through it with my manufacturer. And once again, at the top, you see we still have the design details. So I like to do a whole separate page for my artwork, and usually I number the artwork on the front and the back page as well. I'll show you that in a more detailed tech pack, but I like to number my artwork. I like to have a whole separate page for the artwork so that I'm not getting asked, can you send me this picture? Can you send me this artwork? Can you send me this artwork? I'm giving them all of the artwork here on one page, and they can just grab it, size it, print it however it's supposed to be printed or embroidered, whatever. But I'm giving them all of that artwork on this page for this black jersey. I'm also giving in full detail the colors that I want to be used on one page for the artwork and for the fabric. That is super important. So as you can see, for this black jersey, it's kind of a black and a gray, and then we have the artwork colors. Next, I want to include design examples. This is just over explanation of what you're looking for. So I'm just telling them I want it to be a boxy fit, I want it to be heavyweight, and I also make sure that they get the artwork sizing approved by me before printing. Like I said, I didn't know what size I wanted the artwork to be per se, so I wanted to make sure that they actually communicate with me before printing anything, because I don't want to waste their time, ink, materials, and I don't want to waste my time either. I want the sample to be right the first time if possible, but if not, we can do a second time, but you really want to get it right on the first time. That's why the tech pack is super important. So I put that really boldly, get the artwork sizing approved by me first. And then I let them know that I want it to be sublimation printing. You can also include pictures here. I'll show you in the next tech pack that I included pictures here because I needed like a visual explanation for what I was looking for. Next, we're gonna get into the cream jersey. We already know we got the front, we got the back. And so here, because this piece is a different color, the artwork's gonna be a little different as well. And I made sure to include that instead of the blueprint is black being white, like the black jersey, it's actually black on this one now. So you wanna just show it exactly how it's gonna be. And then I also included the fabric colors as well. This tech pack was not intricate, it was not a lot of detail, and it's honestly because I was working with a product that I have never done before, and I was putting more of my trust into my manufacturer. Once you're comfortable with your manufacturers, by all means, put a little trust in them. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, and if you're working with them, you obviously trust them a little bit, right? So let them do that part and just make sure you approve it every step of the way. So that's that tech pack. Now we're gonna move on to a more intricate tech pack. Okay, so if you have seen my breast cancer awareness jogger sets in the past, this is the tech pack for it. And I'm gonna point out a few different things that I did here. I'm gonna try to give y'all the best explanation I can. First off, let's look at these green boxes. The green boxes that I have around this artwork, this is the second tech pack I sent through. So the first time the sizing was a little bit different. I got the sample, I wanted to change the size. So whatever I changed from the first tech pack, I sent the second tech pack with the correct measurements in green. And everything else stayed in red because it didn't change. But I just want to point out what we're changing so there's no confusion on what's changing and how it's changing. That's why these boxes are green. So even when I get a sample back, if I'm going in for a second round of sampling for that same product, I'm sending a second tech pack because there's obviously some changes that we need to make in the whole thing. And you don't want your manufacturer to accidentally go look at the old tech pack and now it's just a bunch of confusion. So this tech pack is way more detailed. I'm gonna first go down to the artwork. As you can see, I have the artwork numbered 1 through 5. On the actual tech pack, I have the artwork numbered 1 through 5. So they know, oh, this is artwork number 2. Let me go scroll down and grab artwork number 2 and size it as such. I have details here telling you how I want the wash to be. I'm letting you know it's embroidered. I'm letting you know there's a hood inner lining. You have to be very detailed with us. With a piece like this, it needed to be very detailed. It's something that's never been created before. So the details had to be there. Now, for the sizing of the artwork, I know how long I want it to be, right? So if I know how long I want something to be, I like to put auto I like to put auto for the height, just so they know, okay, we're gonna make it this long, and whatever that automatic height is, we're gonna leave it at that. Because I didn't know exactly how high I wanted it to be, so I just wanted it to look right with the 14 inches. And if you know anything about graphics, if you lock the sizing and you change one part of it, it'll just automatically give you the correct portion sizing. So that's what I was doing there. They understood that very well. I do suggest that, like, if you only know, okay, I do want it to be this long, okay, get that length that you want it to be and let them but let them automatically input that width. Now, if you do know the width, and of course you will put a number there. So let's move on to the pants. With the pants, it was honestly the same type of situation. I let them know I wanted it to be a woven label. I let them know I wanted this to be a 3-row wristband, a 3-row waistband, letting them know that this is going to be an applique. Also pointing out the flare and pointing out the light acid wash. You want to point out as many details as possible. Be detailed. Don't be afraid to be too detailed, because although I drew flare legs, somebody could interpret that as straight leg until I actually say, hey, I want this flare. So be as detailed as possible. Also, you can see here where I actually put the GSM I wanted, because I actually knew for cotton what I wanted it to be. And I put that I wanted it to be 100% cotton French terry. And you'll just learn, like, the more sampling you do, the more you talk to these manufacturers, you will learn so much. And don't be afraid to ask them questions. They want to work with you, so ask them as many questions as you need. Here's all the artwork once again, and I'm letting them know this should be all embroidery. There should be nothing printed. This should be all embroidery. Just letting them know that here underneath the artwork section. Next, we have our artwork colors and our fabric colors. Straight to the point, I like to include the hex code. If there's need for Pantone, you can include Pantone color numbers. I've just found working with hex codes has been working. Pantones is usually like if I'm doing wristbands or something like that, I need to use Pantone colors. But usually for fabric, the hex codes work pretty well. So now I'm going to show you what I mean about design examples. So like the last tech pack, I put everything in words because my manufacturer basically knew what I wanted. He knew what I was talking about in the first place. So I didn't need all the extra pictures for him. But here, I wanted to make sure they knew I wanted a 3-row wristband, a 3-row waistband. I wanted to make sure that they knew I wanted a 3-row waistband. I also wanted to make sure they knew I wanted flare joggers, the applique situation, and just another point out of the waistband. So my breast cancer awareness pants were a play off of these stripes that you see on a lot of pants. I just wanted to do something a little bit different, but using that same trend, right? So I just turned it into a breast cancer ribbon, and it turned out really great. And here, just pointing out the raw hem, sending them examples like this really lessens the confusion. They see exactly what you want. They see exactly the point you're trying to get across. And that's the whole purpose of a tech pack. It's to show what's in your brain. Put it on paper. I like to send my tech packs out as a PDF because usually, I mean, you can send it as pictures, but I feel like a PDF is super easy for them to just go to one file and see everything together and not go from photo to photo to photo to photo. So I like to send it as a PDF from Adobe Illustrator. But yes, this is a tech pack for me. And not all tech packs are made the same. Like my jersey tech pack, it wasn't as detailed as the jogger set tech pack for its own reason. You just include as much information as you can. Talk to them as much as you can. Have conversations about what you want. But if you can include a lot of detail on that tech pack, it will save you in the long run. It'll save you from going through 4 samples when you could just go through 1. Just get it right the first time. Communicate to them how you want to be communicated with. My manufacturer for the jersey, he knows that I wanted to see the artwork sizing before it was printed, and he also knows that I wanted to see the rhinestones placement before he heat sealed the rhinestones. I let him know that afterwards. But it's all about communication. The more you communicate, the better you communicate, the better your sample process is going to go, and the less money we got to waste along the way, the less time we got to waste along the way. I hope that y'all have enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions at all about tech packs. I'll be happy to answer those questions for you. But other than that, that's all I got for you. Make sure you guys subscribe, like the video, continue to change, progress, grow. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.